this is how we're looking. It is so cute. I definitely want to make another one. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing this first one, and then I will come back to you another day to make my next one. Hello, it's another day. I'm at Michael's right now, and I'm gonna pick up the yarn I need to make the second of these button tops, and then also probably some extra buttons. And I'm also gonna grab a couple other things that I've been needing from Michael's, including just like a ton of extra yarn. So I thought I would bring you guys along with me so that I can grab everything and hopefully be more efficient if I'm recording. Because I feel like normally when I don't record, then I just spend like an hour in there looking at every single individual thing of yarn. Hopefully this will make me be more efficient, because I think that's kind of too long to spend in one Michael's. But yeah, let's go inside. Hello, I'm back home, obviously. I got so much yarn, but you're gonna have to go to another video to see all the stuff that's in that, because I just want to focus on the like sweater vest type thing. I don't remember, was I calling it a sweater vest earlier in this video? Also, I don't know if you can hear the rain because it's like pouring outside, like absolutely pouring. Hopefully if you can hear it, it's not annoying. First, I got 2 of these like Heartland yarns. It's like, it says like Line Brand Heartland yarn, and it is acrylic, but it's like super soft in my opinion, and it's still weight 4, but I personally feel like Loops and Threads, some of their yarn that's weight 4 is like still kind of like chunkier almost, and then some other brands weight 4 yarn is like weight 3 in my mind because it like feels smaller. That's just like personal opinion, but it could even like be like, in my brain it's like 3.5 weight. Obviously that's like not really a thing, but this is just a little bit smaller, which is kind of what I wanted. And then yeah, it's in the color Great Smoky Mountains which is kind of a funny name, but yeah. So I got 2 of these because I think they'll easily be enough, and then whatever I don't use I can use in another project. And then I originally was gonna get these super small buttons, or like a small package of buttons, because I was like, I don't really need that many. But then I realized that was like $8 or $6 for like 8 buttons, and then this is $12 for however many buttons this is. And I was like, honestly, it's worth it to get more buttons for less money when you like compare it properly. So yeah, this is what I'm gonna use for my next one of these, and I'm super excited to see how it turns out. I do kind of have a lot to do today, so I don't know if I'm gonna get to crocheting today, but I just wanted to keep you in the loop that I finally got my materials, and I will come back another day to update you on when I actually work on it. Welcome back to my channel. You guys, I finally got another tripod. It's literally been weeks, but I finally got one and it wasn't even that expensive. So I'm really excited, and it means I can get back to actually filming tutorials and filming my normal videos the way I want to. Ta-da! Obviously not sponsored, but this is the Sunpack 58-inch aluminum tripod, and honestly pretty sturdy too. Like, it feels heavy duty. I honestly didn't even pay attention to the measurements. There we go. I was gonna say, like, that is not 58 inches. It's just because they're like stuck in there, I think. Okay, I was a little bit concerned at first because that height would definitely not work for like the angle I need for tutorials. Okay, yeah, this is definitely 58 inches. Wait a minute, is it taller than 58 inches or am I taller than it? Because I'm like 5 feet tall. Why is it taller than me? I'm definitely not 4 foot something, I'm 5 feet. That's hilarious. Okay, anyway, this will definitely work. I'm happy I figured that out because I was really stressed about it. And if it looks uneven, it's because I'm not like doing it properly. I'm just like shoving all the stuff everywhere so that it at least gets close to where it needs to be. She's gonna go in the closet, which I should probably throw it away, but I don't want to. Hello, you guys. It is many days later. The last time I talked to you, I had just like started the second top and did like the first part of the back. Now I have the full back part done. I actually have it upside down right now, so ignore that. But it just has like a slight slant to it. And I made it a little bit wider as well because I wanted it to like actually fit. You know, like the first one, obviously I was trying, but like I want this to be like so wearable and like actually fit me really nicely. So this is the back. And then I've now started the front, which I am working from the bottom up this time. And then I'm gonna like try to do a like, what do you call that? Like a curved neckline, I guess. Which I've never done before, so it's gonna be interesting to figure out, but I thought it would be easier to do working this direction rather than from the top to the bottom like I did for the other one. But yeah, I honestly want to get most of this done today because I have a lot of time. I'm really ahead on homework, so I should just get into it. But yeah, and then I made these like little gaps for the buttons to go through. I don't know if they're gonna work the way I want them to, but hopefully they will. But I put them on the back so that the buttons will be tied onto the front. And yeah, I'm about to run out of yarn, so I'll need to switch to my second thing of yarn soon, which is totally fine. I'll just do an invisible knot. And yeah, but hopefully we can finish most of it tonight. It's literally 6:30 and I just ate dinner, so I feel like why would I not finish it tonight? But if my hands get sore, I might have to give up. But hopefully it doesn't happen. So let's get to it. And also notice that we're using my new tripod, so we actually can do a normal angle for once and not have to have something crazy that like does not look normal at all. And then hopefully as well, while I'm crocheting, I'll be able to get an angle that like is still cute and like you can see everything, but at the same time I can be comfortable in my bed because I'm also exhausted today. Like I literally was half asleep at like 4 p.m. and I was like, don't take a nap, and then I made it through that. So I didn't take a nap, but yeah. Anyway, let's get crocheting. Okay, new angle unlocked. Hopefully we like the vibes of this because it's kind of lopsided, so I don't know how I feel about it yet, but we'll crochet like this for a bit, and then if I'm not liking the setup, I'll move. But I feel like it's nice, you can like actually see what I'm doing. But yeah, honestly, just rows and rows and rows of half double crochets to do, and then I will make that same like decreasing shape for the top part for like the arm area, and then I will figure out that scoop neck, which will be interesting. But yeah. Okay, I think I'm gonna start decreasing now because this is basically the equivalent of where I started decreasing on the back, and I like held it up to myself and it seems like that'll work. But my only concern is like literally just figuring out how to do the like scooped neckline shape. I think it might work if I like, this is kind of make it more of a square neckline though, is like my last few rows doing half double crochets and then doing single crochets and then half double crochets, so it's like shorter rows in the middle for a few rows. But I don't know how else I would do that. Let me maybe look up and see if anyone has tutorials on that. Okay, I only looked on YouTube, so I'm sure there's something out there, but on YouTube there isn't really. With the back, it didn't decrease that much because like it's the back of it, I don't really need it to, but for the front it definitely needs to go more. And then I don't know, whatever, we're gonna figure it out. I'm tired of trying to like calculate it, but yeah, that honestly went way faster because it feels like literally it was like 2 seconds ago that I was like barely making any progress, but now I'm already like technically a little bit past where I started decreasing on the back. Okay, whatever. This is so much yapping and not much crocheting, so let's just get into it. I'm gonna do a few rows of these outside decreases, and then we will figure out that middle thing that I don't really know how to do. Okay, I finished my decrease rows, and I think I'm now just gonna do like half double crochets and then single crochets and half double crochets because I don't really know how else to do this. Honestly, it's gonna be more of a square neckline, but that's fine. I just am like so lost on how else I could do this, but that's fine. I'll learn it at some point. I don't even know if it's possible, to be honest. Working this direction, I feel like it's so easy if you're working like this direction, but whatever, it's fine. It feels weird to start decreasing this early because like looking at the number of rows, there are definitely a few more left to make it match, but I do definitely think I need them to start decreasing now in order for it to work. But yeah, I'm tired. I'm definitely not going to do the buttons tonight, but at least if I have my panels done, I will be happy with that. Okay, I just finished what I think is going to be the final product. I ended up not doing half double crochets for all of this like edge part. I started doing double crochets just because I felt like the difference between the half double crochets and single crochets was like not that big, so it wasn't really making a shape. But now you can see there's a little bit of like a scooped shape. I do think you can definitely tell that these are single crochets and these aren't, so hopefully I don't mind that when I'm wearing it. I don't think I will. I think it's just a little bit hard to picture it because like right now it looks kind of like stupid just having it as like two panels. But yeah, I don't know. This is all I'm gonna do today because I'm getting tired, even though it's only been like an hour and a half. But yeah, I'm glad I made a lot of progress. Honestly, I forgot to mention I've been going live on TikTok. I've been going live on TikTok, at least I went live twice, but I was working on this top during that, so that is where I made a lot of the progress, not like on camera for this video, but technically on camera because I was live. But yeah, it's like I can't really figure out how I would normally balance keeping you guys updated when I'm also like actively crocheting on there. So I will figure that out if I do more lives in the future, which I probably will, which I think I will probably do a YouTube post every time I'm gonna go live on TikTok. But if I end up doing like weekly streams, that's gonna be like kind of a lot of YouTube posts. So if all else fails and you want to be able to watch me live, I would follow my TikTok and then turn on notifications, because if you don't have notifications on, you're never going to find out when I'm live. So yeah, that's kind of just like the best way you can do it. I feel like lives are pretty fun. You can get to know me a little bit, I can get to know you, and I've just been like crocheting and listening to music and like trying out new music that people in the chat recommend. So that's what the vibes are. But yeah, we are done for today, and I will chain one and cut it off so that it's not attached to the yarn anymore. Actually, maybe I won't, because when I stitch it closed, I'm going to use it from the same spot, so I won't cut it off. But my next step is just stitching the little sleeves right there and then sewing on the buttons, which I still haven't learned how to do, so maybe I'll try and watch a video or two in between the next time that I crochet. Like maybe even I'll like stitch it closed tonight too, because that's so easy. I don't know, whatever. I will update you super soon on whatever I end up doing, or if I'm just coming back to do the rest of it. But yeah, good night. Alright, you guys, I have quite the setup right now. We're so zoomed in so that the mess of my desk with all my supplies is not as visible, but I just finished one side and I'm like halfway through the other side, and I've kind of like mastered my method now of buttons, especially because needle wise, like I have to be really specific about how I do it, because if I go through too many times, my needle's not going to fit anymore through like the gap in the button. But I just thread my darning needle the same way I always do. It does like take a little bit longer though, because I kind of like bent my needle with one of the buttons that was like for some reason slightly smaller in terms of the holes. I completely lost my train of thought, but I've been starting from the inside so that I don't have to do the end through twice, which is what I had to do before. And then I just go across the diagonal to the back again. And also, if you are stitching together with your normal needle instead of your darning needle, pay attention because your normal needle is going to be sharp in a way that your darning needle isn't. I haven't poked myself once, which is honestly shocking because I'm like always poking myself when I sew, but luckily that is not what's happening here. So yeah, so now I just have like it through all of the gaps, and then I cut it, and then I just tie it back here so that it's secure. Okay, I think my camera is like the tiniest bit too far back, so I'll show you with my next one, except my next one is only 2 holes, because the only thing about this like assorted buttons thing is that these are obviously like a gradual size and shape. So like this one, oh my god, this one has 2 gaps, the rest of them have 4, whatever. Yeah, so anyway, same process again, threading my needle, and then starting from the back and stitching it together. And I have one row in between these because when I did my like gap border on the other panel, I had like 1 stitch and then a chain, so this will just make it like line up with that. I do think my gaps are more suited for like this size of button, but I did test it and they do work for the bigger buttons, so it'll be fine. It's just like if I'd realized I had to do a sorted range of buttons, I would have made those other gaps bigger, because initially I thought about doing them bigger, but I didn't want them to be so big that like the buttons of this size couldn't like stay closed in them. And then yeah, just cutting it off, and then I only have 2 left, which is nice. And there we go. My ends are obviously craziness here, and like some of them are way too long, but I don't even mind. I'll sew them in later. But yeah, I will just come back when I'm done with my buttons, and then I'll let you know how stitching it together goes, and we will be done. All right, we are now done, so I can put my sewing kit away. But I do want to stitch it closed. I left like a long end on this side, way longer than I would need, because I wanted to be able to stitch it together without having to like tie yarn on. I'm just kind of like lazy. But now I have to decide which side is my inside. I think those match, so those would be both outside, so go this way. And then it seems like for some reason my front ended up a little bit shorter, so I might add an extra row or 2 at the bottom. Well, that wouldn't work because of the buttons. Maybe I add a couple more rows at the top, or maybe even just like 1 double crochet row, because I think the issue too is that like it's slanted, but when I was holding this up yesterday, it like perfectly matched with the top. I don't really know why that would have changed, but I'll just do 1 more double crochet row here, and then I won't add any single crochets there, I don't think, because then it'll like make the circle neck even more. Okay, so that's 8. Yeah, I think that looks good. Okay, so then I will have to stitch it this way now, but I'm gonna do my actually I might just do full single crochets because I want this to be sturdy. Hopefully I have enough yarn for that in my little like end that I cut. Oops, maybe I don't. Okay, and then I'm gonna... That's not gonna be enough. I mean, shoot. That sucks. Okay, maybe I'll do slip stitches then, because that'll save me some space and then I don't have to tie on any yarn. Alright, take 2. Wait, I don't know why I'm starting to do outside loops again. I gotta say, y'all, I am tired right now, so please forgive me for any, like, incoherency, if that's a word. So that's not even... Oh my god. Okay, much better in terms of extra yarn. And then I'm gonna chain 1 and just pull it through. I do wonder, like, what I'm supposed to do with that extra end. But maybe it'll end up looking like cool and like funky, but I kind of doubt it. Okay, let's see. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're into the 10th with the outside. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then into the 10th. With the outside. Okay. Then I will just tie my yarn on here, and then we will continue. I'm so used to going through only one loop that trying to go through both is like non-intuitive, so I just keep accidentally going through only the outside loops. But again, I want to go through both for this one. I think going through one loop is fine. I do it on a lot of projects, just like I feel like the shoulders are kind of a spot you maybe want to have both if it's like a stretch point, and I think kind of like the instability of this part is going to make it weird. I don't really know how I was supposed to do this, like shoulders and stuff, because again, I'm freehanding this, but hopefully it ends up working out. If it doesn't, I will figure something out. That's fine. But yeah. So now we are basically done. I really don't know what to do about the shoulders here, because maybe I should have decreased on the back to get it up like this, but like, I don't know, it just looks weird like that. But I didn't want the back to have this shape, so I don't really know, but whatever, I'll figure it out. I'm confusing myself, but I think it'll look fine from the front because it's just gonna look like that, because this is gonna be on my back. I don't think it'll look that weird. Maybe it will. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna try it on in a second. I do have to like run a very fast errand, so I will be back really fast for you guys. Also pretty quickly for me, and then we will try this on and see if I want to make any tweaks, because I like it. I just am a little bit confused about what in the world is happening here, but I think I like it. I'm not sure though, to be honest. Okay, time for the big reveal. This is how she looks. Please ignore that I have not weaved in my ends. I just took pictures wearing it, so I like tucked them all in on this side and then left them on this side. But what are my thoughts? I don't know if I like it, to be completely honest. It's not skin tight the way I wanted it to be, but I do like the shape of the top. It's not that much of like a scoop neck, but it is like the shape I wanted, and you can't really tell it's single crochets when you're not looking that close, but I wish it fit more like this. And that's, I can't see around my hair, that's like a lot of extra fabric that would need to go away, except it's not fabric, it's a crochet. So I don't know how I feel. I think it's cute from how far away I'm seeing it in the viewfinder, because when I was looking in the mirror while I was taking those pictures for the thumbnail, I was like, does this look good at all? And I really wasn't sure, because it's just not exactly like what I was going for. It's so like loose, and it almost like gets like boxy and doesn't like, it like doesn't look like it fits that well, in my opinion. Like maybe it's not that bad. And then I definitely screwed up with the shoulders. I was like even looking like, oh, could I stitch it down like that? And then it looks weird there too. So I personally feel like this is a fail. Maybe you guys will like it, and if you do, I'm glad, because at least one of us likes it. But I don't know, it's cute, but it's not exactly what I wanted. And then even the sides, like it's a little bit lower than I wanted it to be, so like I would need more buttons to close that up. I don't feel like adding any more. I'm just kind of like disappointed that after 2 tries it's still not like exactly what I wanted. I think I almost like overcorrected. Like the other one was like too tight, too short. This one's long enough but too loose, and still not enough buttons almost, or like it's enough buttons but they could just be like a little bit further apart. I do think this like looks really cute, like when you just look at it like that. If imagine it like stayed like there, but like look at that, like that's really cute, as long as I have my hand at an angle that like doesn't make the back like go all weird. But I feel like that's cute, where you can see all the buttons, but then like you look at it from the front, it's like what's going on there? So I don't know, I'm not trying to be like so crazy about how it looks, but I do think like it's just not exactly what I wanted, so like it's a little disappointing. But I don't know, maybe I'll wear it someday. It is quite the hassle to put all the buttons though. Like I didn't even think about that. Like I already don't like having to put on a couple buttons. I don't like having to tie my shoes. I like slip-on shoes, so this is like a lot. But I don't know, I'm happy I tried. I think it's good for me to like see a vision off of a picture and then like try and recreate it. I think that's like the way I work out how to do things crochet. But I don't know, it's not perfect, but who cares? Nothing's perfect. I am like happy that I finished it. and that it doesn't look awful. I just do think there's a few points where it's like, that's not like technically correct. Like even thinking about like clothing design, like which is kind of separate. If like someone sewed like this and it came out with like the shoulders like this and like the arms like that, it would be like, you need to fix those things. But since it's crocheted, I'm like, I don't really know how to fix that. And I thought about doing like elastic, but then like I feel like it would make like a weird like bubble here instead of just like making it tight. But I don't know. And yeah, so thank you for coming on this journey. I hope some of you guys watched both videos to see what I came up with in the first one, which I actually have over here. This was the first one I made, reversible, and then like obviously you can tell it's, well, it doesn't even look that much shorter. When it's on, it always shortens up a bit. I don't know how that works. But yeah, I'm glad I tried them. At least I didn't use all my yarn for this, but yeah, a little bit of a fail still in my opinion, but it's kind of cute from far away and in specific angles in the picture that I took. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I did have a lot of fun making these videos, and if you didn't watch the first one yet, go watch it now. It's pretty good, if I do say so myself. Make sure to check out my Depop for crochet stuff I'm selling. I have so much crochet stuff on there, and otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye! Like even I guess for the front I could like